Okay, good morning, afternoon or evening, depending on when you're watching. I am Miss Upham. I'm here today to talk to you about your children's visit to Grittledown House next year. So it's not even next year, it will be in September. Okay, so I would like to talk you through the trip, hopefully answer as many questions as you can, and then at the end I will be able to receive email questions if you have any. So I'm just going to share my screen with you so that you can see my slides. Okay, so this is Grittledown House, and as you can see, it is from the 27th of September to the 1st of October. Grittledown House itself is also a wedding venue, so it looks very grand, and it means there's lots and lots of space and acres around the outside, but I'll go into all that detail in a minute. So we made the decision last year to move from Morpeth Bay to Grittledown House for several reasons. Here are the highlights. It is better value for money, which means it's costing you less. It's closer significantly, so far less travelling, and it means we actually should be home by Friday lunchtime rather than late into the evening. There's a much more larger focus on team activities and problem solving and getting the children to work together rather than it all being high adrenaline. There's lots of activities where all the children can join in at once, so rather than having to wait their turn, they're active for much more of the time. There are smaller dormitories, so there are dorms that go down as small as 4 children up to 10, which is their biggest, which is much nicer. There's far less kit required. Generally, children will just need old shoes, trainers, and coats and things in case it rains. And they have got really excellent wet weather provision. Unfortunately, they can't make it not rain, but they are prepared to cope with us if it does rain. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to the Grittledown House PowerPoint because they're going to give you specific information that they would like you to see. So again, it's an interaction company that runs it. So they were created in 2004 and have a highly skilled team with over 75 years of experience. They operate high quality schools, residential and adventure courses. Interaction currently work with childcare facilities around the world in 18 countries. So this is not a small company that we've found. And they work alongside First Choice and Caravan Holidays and Centre Parks within the UK. We're proud to provide pupils and teachers alike with an unforgettable experience and fantastic memories through our commitment to quality and our dedicated professional team. Okay, so they are going to unlock value by offering personal and social development, self-confidence, team building, new skills and experiences, safety awareness, building of friendships, educational links, a sense of personal achievement, and memories that last a lifetime, and fun. All of their staff have all of the necessary qualifications, so they have national governing body qualifications, and the archery coach has special qualification for that. All risk assessments and activities are carried out thoroughly. There's site and security supervision. There's a duty manager on patrol until 11 PM and on 24 hours call. They will do a fire drill when the children arrive, and they've got all their first aid procedures in place. Here's a list of all of the accreditations that they have. Okay, and they take time to hire their staff. If any of you are looking for a job, they might be hiring now. Here is a sample activity programme for what your child might expect for their week at Grittledown House. So as you can see, they will arrive on Monday morning. That's when they're travelling time. They get their welcome to their centre, and then they start their activities straight away in the afternoon, and they get their evening activity. On the Tuesday, they then get into 4 actual activities during the day and then an evening activity. That's the same for Wednesday and Thursday. And then on the Friday, we get to do more activities, something we never got to do on Morpeth because the journey time was so long, it was get up and go. So we will have our lunch and then we'll travel back to school where hopefully we won't get caught up in any traffic. So the accommodation is in the manor house. The dormitories, as I've already said, sleep between 4 and 10 children. The teachers' bedrooms are scattered in between the children's dorms. So it will kind of be children, 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 teacher, children, children. So we're all spread out around, which is really lovely. There is lots of grass around, up to 30 acres of grass around. So they have got plenty of space to run. And there's a capacity for up to 150 children. So for a large school like ourselves, we won't feel like we are spilling out over the edges. So what's at Grittledown House? There's 30 acres of grass, there's multiple activity areas, there's a woodland activity zone, there's an amazing rural zones and an indoor sports zone. So with regards to food, I know lots of parents get nervous about what the children might eat. All of the meals are well balanced and there are vegetarian options. They will adhere to any special dietary requirements. You get a continental breakfast of cereal, toast, and yogurt and fruit. And their instructors will eat with them so that they're continuously building that reputation. So final information, we will give you a kit list in plenty of time, but actually it's the easiest kit list we've had in years. They have lockable accommodation, but we don't suggest bringing any valuable items. Children can bring spending money for souvenirs. We don't say £20 at all, we say £5 as a maximum, and we will have all your contact details. Okay, so coming back to these slides then. So I'm just going to go over some of that again. So I know lots of parents are always concerned about what they're actually going to need for the trip. Like I said, we don't need any special equipment. So a waterproof jacket, trousers if you have them would be amazing, warm jumpers, sensible footwear, nothing open-toed, just trainers, things that you don't mind getting a little bit muddy should it have rained and they go out onto the field, but that is as much as it's going to be. They're not going to need to be submerged. Nothing that's going to be thrown away. Long and short sleeved tops so that they can decide what they need depending on the temperature. Long trousers, shorts, underwear, socks, a bath towel, clothes for the evening. So they might want something nice for the disco night, but otherwise just warm things. Toiletries, so they'll need their toothbrush, any shower gel or shampoo, and a small drinks bottle that they can carry to their activities. You will note on here that they do not need a sleeping bag or a pillow. All of that is provided at Grittledown House. And it says just on the screen here, so please bring clothes that you can be active in and that you don't mind getting dirty. There are, as far as I'm aware, no activities where your clothes will be completely trashed. But we want the children to feel free, so please don't go out and buy them brand new clothes and for them then not want to roll down the hill and get muddy. It would be useful if they can find a torch for when we go out for a nighttime walk, some sun cream because the sun will be out in September, hats and gloves just in case the sun isn't out, sun hats, plastic clothes to put dirty and wet clothes in, so just a black bin bag in their case so that when they've worn stuff they can put it to one side. It just helps them work out what's clean and what's not, and then pocket money if they need it. This is a sample menu. Again, I know children are quite nervous. It's a very simple menu. So as we said at the beginning of the day, choice of cereals, toast, fruit and yogurts. And then for lunches, things like jack potatoes, sausage rolls, pizza baguettes, and then they will do us some sandwiches to have on the Friday. And then for our evening meals, chicken nuggets, spaghetti bolognese, a barbecue night or chicken curry, which will not be spicy, and then fish and chips. They will work alongside us to ensure that every child is fed. Every year we take children to camp, there are children who are nervous about the food because they are particular with what they eat, and we have never brought a child home hungry. The kitchen staff will work around us to be able to make sure that everybody is fed. With every evening meal, there is like a pasta bar so that they can just top things up, and a salad bar as well. So I'm now going to talk you through the selection of activities that are at Grittledown House. Your children will probably want to listen to this bit because this is the bit that's like really interesting. I'm going to try not to dwell on each of them, but I want to give you a really good idea of all of the options that are available. So this one, of which I've chopped the name of, I can't remember what the name of it is called. It's a combination of trampolining, basketball and volleyball. So they have sets of big trampolines set up and the children play like basketball on the trampolines. It's high activity, high energy activity, and they take it in turns to swap out because they're exhausted after a few minutes on each bit. We've got archery, so we've got fully qualified archery instructors that will show children through the skills of how to safely handle and use the equipment and then to fire at a target, which then takes them on to their archery adventure. So once they are skilled in their archery abilities, they then go on a trail around the woodlands to try and use the archery skills as they go around, which is really lovely. We've got body zorbs, so our complete set of zorbs so that the whole group can get in a body zorb at the same time, and then just have fun. I know they talked about rolling down the hills, trying to have a go at running around in them, basically just having a good old laugh in them. Buggy building. I'm particularly looking forward to doing this one. This is where, again, it's problem solving, it's working together. The children are given a selection of equipment and they're challenged to design a moving buggy that they can then race against another team that is building a buggy. So really hands-on, really nice activity. Circus workshop. So I know it sounds a bit old-fashioned, but actually, we haven't done stuff like this before. They can learn the Diablo, can learn to swim plates, they can have a go at juggling. Really nice, kind of chill down, just have a bit of fun activity. The climbing wall is one of their more high adrenaline activities. So they've got a 7-meter climbing wall where it's all again run by a fully trained instructor, and they have all of the harnesses and equipment that they will need for it. Crate challenge is a fun challenge. Children generally like this one more. So as you can see, the children are still harnessed up, but they will work in pairs to try and build crates, build a crate tower that they then climb on. And the joy of this activity is they start on the floor. So they build to a height that's nice for them. So those children who are nervous about heights get to achieve something useful. Disc golf, you may have seen it up on the Mendix. The children will work in teams to go around a course to see if they can get their frisbee into the golf hole to see how many scores that they're going to get. Nice big course spread out among all of those fields, keeps them nice and active. An escape room. How cool does this sound? So within Grittledown House themselves, they have built an escape room that the children will have to work in teams to try and escape. Hoverboarding. Yes, they have a set of hoverboards, so the children in their groups can each have a go at learning how to ride these. If you've never had a go before, don't worry, they've got full equipment, all of the helmets and the arm pads and the knee pads to keep the children safe. And then once they've mastered the skills, they will be able to use them around the course that they've set up. The hoverboards are actually take part inside their indoor dome. So we mentioned earlier that they've got wet weather provisions. When it rains, where possible, activities will come inside because it's such a grand manor house. They've got this massive, great big basement with open space, so activities can go down there. And then outside, they have essentially got a playground covered in a dome, which enables us to be outside in the rain but dry. Just good old-fashioned Olympics, giving the children a chance to have a go at old-fashioned Olympic sports and competing against each other. Street dance. So the children will work with a street dance coach to come up with their own routine, to practice it and to fine-tune it, and then they will all perform their dances at the disco on the final night. Sounds great, right? Low ropes course. So rather than a high ropes course, which I have watched for many years now, children really struggle with because they're just too high, Grittledown have built themselves a low ropes course. So all the same challenges and skills needed to maneuver around, but the ropes are only a few centimeters off the floor. So we reduce that need for fear. Mysterious missions. So the children take on a large-scale problem-solving tasks in the woodland environment. Again, this is working with teams, trying to communicate with each other and working to overcome problems. Sensory adventure is where the children work together in our 5 sense zones before taking part in the final sensory adventure. It's about communicating with each other and working together, building that trust in our classes. Sports and games. Sometimes actually it's just nice to play a game that's organised by somebody and run and just kept going. So a whole range of games that the children can just enjoy. Water rollers. So they don't have a swimming pool, but they do have a giant paddling pool that is about, I think, like 30 centimetres deep. So it's not a risk if you've got non-swimmers, and the children climb inside the water roller to try and move it around. It's about just having fun and working together. And because the water is so shallow, there's no worries for those children who can't swim. Water wars is a water fight. Would be great fun when the sun is shining on us in September. If the sun's not shining, it might be one that we decide not to do. The cube. So we've all seen the television show. This is a take on that. The children basically will try different challenges to see if they can beat the cube. So I hope that you agree with us that this is a fantastic opportunity for your child. And if you do, then we kindly ask that you pay the deposit of £50 by Friday the 5th of March. The total estimated cost is £280, which will need to be paid by Friday the 23rd of July. We appreciate that for some of you at the moment, that kind of money is going to prove a problem. If that is you, please contact us and speak to us, because we can help to support you financially. We don't want in any way to put pressure on any families any more than there already is at the moment, but we do really want your children to have this experience, and we want to work with you to make sure that we can do that. Okay, which is why we're launching now, to try and give you as much information as we can. It says estimated cost because obviously the pricing may change slightly depending on the numbers of children that go, but that is hopefully our accurate number. Like I said, I can't answer any questions now because this is pre-recorded, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to email them in to me, and then I will get back to you as soon as I can. Hopefully I've given you a really good understanding of what camp is like. It's a new venue for us that we still haven't actually managed to get to because our current Year 6 one has been rescheduled several times, and we're hoping to take them in July. So yeah, we'll be there twice in a couple of months, hopefully. So thank you for listening, and I will hopefully see you all at some point. Okay.